Good day and welcome to module number 7 on digital marketing. In the earlier two modules, we had covered two of the components of digital marketing. The first is SEO or search engine optimization. And in the earlier module, we had covered PPC or pay-per-click advertising. In this module, we move into a topic which each one of us is extremely familiar with, which is social media advertising. Now, understand one thing, that while you and me may be users of social media, advertising on social media is a different ballgame. So what we will try and understand here is what are the basic important things to be kept in mind as a marketer when advertising on social media. Now, also understand that social media has evolved from the days of a single platform like Orkut, and there are multiple social media platforms which are there. So it's just like any other medium like TV or press. I mean, if you're choosing an ad in a press, there are a number of periodicals you could choose from. Or if you're choosing a TV spot, you could choose a TV spot in a number of TV channels across multiple genres. You could choose movies, you could choose sport, IPL, and so on and so forth. The same kind of slicing and dicing is happening in terms of social media. So what we look at in this module is what is the social media landscape which is evolving around us, and therefore, as a person choosing a medium, how does one choose social media as a method of advertising? That will be the coverage for module 7. Welcome to module 7.
So let's move forward into social media. Why? We all thought Facebook hai, Instagram hai, Twitter hai, वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह. We could name maybe 10. There are over 350 social media platforms, and more are being built every day. Clubhouse. How many people know of Clubhouse? You all have heard of Clubhouse, right? Participated in Clubhouse? Not yet. It's the fastest growing, another extremely fast growing social media platform, Clubhouse, right? Nobody knew about it 6 months ago, but now everybody has heard of it at least, right? So there are over 350, and every day there is something new coming up. So the plethora of social media platforms, you could splice your social media marketing efforts to reach out and engage with consumers across any platform that you want, right? So typically, let's look at what is the typical standing process. Not much. It's standard process that you follow for any marketing initiative. You set the objective, you choose the platform. So if you want to set the objective, what's the objective? Are you trying to build a community? Number one, as a brand. Or are you trying to drive engagement to the community? Are you trying to sell to the community? Or are you trying to build thought leadership? What is the objective that you have in social media? That objective will define what is the channel that you will choose. For instance, if my objective is to build thought leadership, I would choose Medium as a channel. You have heard of Medium? Anybody? All of you? No? Okay. The new social media channel. It's been there for many years. Medium is a blogging platform. Very, very popular among young people. When I say young adults, very, very popular, extremely popular, right? And it is the go-to platform for thought leadership, right? So you really need to very clear on the objective, because without objective, it is like shooting in the dark. You'll have a ball, you're aimlessly shooting and heading towards hoping you hit a goal, which you never do. Based on this, you need to select a social media based on your business. Are you B2B or B2C? It is always good to be strong on one or two social media platforms rather than in all platforms. Saying, I want to be on Facebook, I want to be on Instagram, I want to be on Twitter, I want to be on LinkedIn, I want to be on everywhere, YouTube. Because end of the day, if you do not have content for a social media, you're dead in any case. Organic social media is a dying phrase, and I'm sticking my head out and saying this: organic social media. What is organic social media? Organic social media is that when you put up something on your social media and you expect that everybody in your followers are going to see it, it is not happening. right? A good example for you all to test this out is that all of you all are probably on Instagram. Am I right? All of you all are on Instagram. You may or may not be on Facebook, right? So on Instagram, you would have a lot of followers, right? If you put up something, not all your followers will get to see your feed. Only a small percentage of them will ever get to see your feed. Why does Facebook do this? Or why does LinkedIn do this? Or why does Twitter do this? Anybody? Common sense question.
Sir, because they push the content which I want to see. Let's say if I have liked your post earlier, they will push your content more and more.
Yeah, that's how the algorithm works. But why won't they show it to everybody who is my follower?
So probably they want us to pay for it.
Exactly. Who said this?
Priyam.
Priyam, you hit the nail on the head. Facebook's revenue source is only one: media money. If I show your news feed to everybody who's following you, why on hell will you ever advertise with me? Then all that you will do is increase your followers to the extent that you want to, and then happily sit back and put up posts. What will poor Mark Zuckerberg do after that? How can he buy WhatsApps? Other companies like WhatsApp or launch metaverse and stuff like that if you don't advertise. So fundamentally, organic feeds are a dying or decreasing algorithm. It is nothing that they quote, but you can test it out for yourself to see this. So today, what we in advertising in digital feel is that not more than 5% of your audience will ever get to see your post. So if you've got 1,000 followers, not more than 5% of them will ever get to see your post. So for brands, being on social media is an uphill task. You have to advertise if you want whatever you're putting up content to be seen by people. And that's how they make money. So it's very important to choose your social media platforms very, very carefully. Right. Then comes the communication strategy. What will you say, as somebody said, and what you will communicate. Remember, social media is not limited to those who are connected to you, but those who encompass others. So if you put up something and they share it, that's how the virality happens. What kind of content? Each social media lends itself to certain degrees of certain content. Text, visual, infographic, video. So if I am on Instagram, what should I be using ideally? You all know the answer to this. Should I be putting up an image or should I be putting up a reel? Reel. Absolutely right. Right. Reels are the fastest growing consuming format today. Right. And that's so that if I'm on Instagram, I need to do a lot of reels, which is all video content. Right. If I'm on LinkedIn, I need to start putting different stuff. If I'm on Facebook, it's very, very different. If I'm YouTube, it's very different. Each content costs money to make. So your communication strategy should encompass that. And of course, your content plan. What will you content? What frequency? What periodicity? What format? And look at content that people will like to share. And we look at what are the emotions that go behind why people share certain stuff. And there are essentially 2 or 3 basic emotions that all of us have, which prompt us to happily share blindly. And WhatsApp is the biggest example of free forwards and free shares. Media team, you need to have a good media team, extremely good command of English, because that's unfortunate. That's how India is. You need to spot social trends. And a good example of social trend is how Reels started becoming the de facto method of communicating on Instagram. It wasn't so earlier, right? Ability to spot these trends. And why did reels become very important? Anybody? Why did reels become suddenly so? Why did Instagram start pushing reels so fast?
Because ban of the TikTok.
Absolutely. Not because of ban of TikTok. Because TikTok was taking away consumers. Because TikTok was taking away video consumers, Facebook started pushing reels. It did same thing. It different matter that TikTok got banned. Ultimately, it got banned in India per se, right? But it would have done with TikTok the same thing what it did with Snapchat, right? Now, many of y'all may have been on Snapchat earlier, right? Can anybody tell me why did Snapchat succeed so much or suddenly become such a big social media? Nowadays, you don't hear much people talking about Snapchat. But at one stage, it was a rage. Why?
The use of filters, different types of filters.
No. Fundamental consumer insight. When I tell you, you will say, yes, that's right. Fundamental consumer insight.
So the only difference I know is that you can open it only once, the image.
That was all other stuff which added on to the core reason why people went to Snapchat. Core reason. Okay, so let me answer this. When do people typically get their first mobile phone? 13 years, 13, 14 years, typically class 8, class 9, right? Unless you have got very good parents who say, okay, you're 6 years old, take a mobile phone. But by and large, when they're 13, 14, they get their first mobile phone. And which preteen girl or guy wants his parents to know what he does on social media? Does anybody want? Nobody wants. Snapchat introduced the what do you call the fading posts or disappearing posts. So you could put up something on Snapchat and it will not be visible afterwards. So your parents could take your phone without a problem and see a very nice kid having a very clean image. Am I right or wrong? That's what Snapchat did, and that's why it was at one stage the 13 to 16-year-olds were all on Snapchat. And that's when Facebook said this is becoming a dangerous thing because the future customers were going to a different social media. That's when it launched all the stuff which it replicated Snapchat onto Instagram, left, right, center. So you could do filters, you could do misering, you do everything that you could do on Snapchat, you could do on Instagram. And Facebook was still big. People are still taking an account on Facebook and they found Instagram sexy, happy, good, nice. They shifted to Instagram. So Snapchat today, they killed Snapchat, literally. And TikTok was doing the same thing to Facebook, what Snapchat did with Facebook, taking away the video audience. So they'll put up reels and promoted it so aggressively that everybody is now on reels, literally. Right. So this is an aside that we took as an aside. Right. So tracking is, like I said, digital is all about being able to track information as you go along. There are several social media tools. So I'll share with you one tool, and this is a very nice tool which all of y'all could probably use, Klout. So Klout essentially tells you how good is your social clout, right? There are tools like Hootsuite, Sproutsocial help you manage your social media. This is Katrina Kaif's social clout, which means that anytime she put out something, she has a clout out of 100, a 61 clout. Sunny Leone has a higher clout than Katrina Kaif. Thanks to all the guys. Shah Rukh Khan is the same as Sunny Leone, a Klout, 82. The Badshah as well as Sunny Leone. But above them is, of course, Sachin Tendulkar. Above Sachin Tendulkar is Narendra Modi and Amitabh tied at same position. 89, Klout of 89. So you can imagine the clout that each of them have. Justin Bieber, even higher than Narendra Modi ji and Amitabh Bachchan, 92. And at the very, very top, the one and only Barack Obama. Right? So social clout is a tool that is used by a brand to understand relatively what's my position, clout position versus competition. It's also used to understand how important are influencers. What's their social clout? So use the tool in various ways to understand how to use it.
So that was module number 7. And let's understand what the coverage was in this particular module. What we looked at in this module was the third component of digital marketing, and that was social media. Now, kindly understand that the media planning for digital medium is, in terms of processes, is not very different from what happens in traditional media. So when we choose a TV program or a press, what do we keep in mind? Two important things. What's the target audience like, and what is the objective of the message? That doesn't change in social media either. So therefore, in social media also, the important things to keep in mind is what is the objective of the campaign and who is your target group. So therefore, if you're having a younger target group, perhaps Instagram may be a better medium. On the other hand, if you're having a more serious conversation, then perhaps LinkedIn may be a better social media vehicle to use. It also depends on the objectives. For example, if you're looking at thought leadership, then perhaps a social media site like Medium may be a better option, which is a collection of influential blogs which is gathered momentum. So understand, therefore, that in terms of social media planning, it's important for you to reiterate what we had done or what we had understood for traditional media, which is your choice of medium. It depends on who your target audience is and what is your objective. Also understand that the landscape is changing. There are a lot of new social media platforms which are emerging, which have more specialized target groups. So that allows us to tailor our message to a more specific target group in a more refined way. Those are the new developments which are happening in the social media platform. That was the coverage in module 7. In module 8, we look at the two other components, email marketing and content marketing. That will be the coverage in module 8. See you there. Thank you very much.